Today, we're going to be talking about investment in your child. It's not what you think. Stick around because this could be a game changer. I'm Marina, your host, mother of 2 aspiring rock climbers and a wife to an extreme athlete. Okay, so what does it mean? Investment in your kids. And I'm not talking about financially only, because that usually is the first thing that people go to when they hear the word investment. It's a lot more than that. So here's the thing. You are on board for your kid to become the athlete that they want to be, right? You're all into it. Yeah, great. So are you actually ready to make the investment that you need to put in for them to actually become the athlete that they want to? And that takes everything into a different perspective. Why? Because I'm not talking about the money. Okay, that's a whole other thing. Yes, obviously that is financial. Absolutely. We know that pretty much for anything you need to and I have a ton of episodes talking about the financial investment in your kid as well. This is a little bit different. I'm talking about your time, your emotional support, and your decision making. Please go and listen to decision making or decision makers episode, because that is so important. Like, the understanding of the decision making process is important, and that is the investment that I am talking about. Look, interestingly enough, people know that this is super rewarding for your kid's journey and all of that. And I get it, because, we hear the kids are interested in something and have some passion in something, and we're all for it. But the investment that it takes on our part is literally what can make or break your kid's career, your kid's journey, your kid's everything, to be quite honest with you, right? So when you finally decide to make that investment, right, that commitment into your child, what's really interesting is that it's a lot more than just saying, hey, let's go for your athletic, career, because it becomes this entire journey, and it's actually incredibly rewarding for both parties, for you and your child. First of all, it's a journey of, yes, actually the sport, right? The sport itself could take you to incredible places, but it's also learning how to build that confidence, learning the discipline, learning the commitment. And it's funny enough, it's not only on the kid's part, it's also on the parent's part, or whoever is taking on that commitment, that investment in them, right? It's watching them, it's watching them flourish, right? They also watch us to see, because we are their first role models, right? You don't realize that, but when you decide to make that commitment, that investment, and you don't stick with it, in their eyes, they're watching you. There's always a saying, like, everything we do, they see, they watch, even though you might not think that they are, but we are their role models, right? We are showing them how we are investing in them, in ourselves. And a lot of times you won't have the right answers, and it's okay. And a lot of times people stop and don't want to commit to that investment of their time, of their support, of their emotion, because they feel like they're not going to have the right answers. Of course not. You're not going to have the right answers. Nobody expects you to have those answers. And that's okay, right? Because the commitment is simply knowing that you are there for them to learn the right answers, or maybe even to a lot of times take the wrong decisions, because you're all learning. But if you could admit to them, you know what? I'm in it the same as you. This is all new to me. Let's learn this together, right? Let's see where this could take us. A lot of times you will be making wrong decisions. You might not have the right answer, and that's okay, because discovering that together, discussing that with your kid, that's what's going to make that difference. That's what's going to make them stronger. Nobody has everything right. It's not even a possibility, right? And another really important thing, when you decide to make that investment, how are you going to look at it? Is that going to be a sacrifice on your time? Because they're going to understand eventually that you're sacrificing yourself for them. That's not about that. Investment, it's about working with them. It might be a compromise, but it's certainly not a sacrifice. It's not that burden, because at the end of the day, if you're going to go into that investment, into that commitment in that way, it's going to backfire. It's going to backfire in ways, first of all, it could completely tarnish your relationship. Secondly, they could quit. They could end up hating the sport. There could be many consequences when you go into it the wrong way. So you need to make that decision. You need to see what kind of investment are you prepared to do. And sometimes you're just not prepared to do it. And that's okay as well. But admitting it, owning up to it, is what's going to make all the difference. This is your time to see what kind of investment you can make in your child's sport, in your child in general. Are you willing to do it? And if so, how? I would love to hear how you guys have invested yourselves into your child's sport, into that relationship. I would love to know more about that. And you could also talk to me. I'm happy to talk, because just bouncing ideas off of somebody else can make all the difference. And I don't have people to do that with that much. That's why I even started this entire podcast, this entire series, so that we can have that person to talk with, right? Because it takes a strategic village. I am Marina, the host of Raising Extreme Athletes. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave me a review and share it with your friends. And remember, I'm here for you guys.